Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the power to chant. Jah give her the power to chant. Ras Tafari, the lion's voice. Bigger.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
The event that's coming up is the 6th annual Empress Menen Asfaw Blue Fire Leadership I Treat. And the Leadership I Treat is an opportunity for Ras Tafari women to come together to participate in Jerusalem schoolroom, to be exposed to groundbreaking ideologies and philosophies. The whole point of the Leadership I Treat is to prepare Rastafari women for their position, right, on center stage within the Rastafari movement. The due date for the deposit, and I don't know exactly when this is going to air, so
I'm going to try to get this out very quickly. So
okay, yeah. But even if a one needs to reach out, before that due date, reach out and talk to I and let I know, because I'm always willing to work with ones, right? Yes. As far as much as I can, as far as the timeline is concerned. So my website is Lalibela Institute.org and LaliBelaInstitute.com. So that's the website where you can see, all of the work that's happening at Lalibela Institute, which is the parent organization, and the I Treat is the major fundraiser for Lalibela Institute. Okay, so ones could, if you're interested, send me an email, and I don't know if you could put it somewhere, but my email is lalibela.org@gmail.com. How do I ensure that this liberty that we love, that we have sacrificed so much for, right, that it continues and that it endures, and not that it just endures in a superficial or mediocre way, but that it endures in a triumphant way, right? And so the only way that can be done is to make that bridge, is to make that bridge between us and that other generation. And so I have designed topics or created topics that I put myself again in the position of the 18-year-old Jahzani. And what would I have wanted to know, right? What type of camaraderie would I like to have had with other sistren? Because there were very few Rastafari sistren in my community at that time who were older, who were even willing, right, to engage younger Rastafari sistren on a deep level. And so I will not continue that trend. And so every month, sistren can log on, and if they're interested, they can go to my Facebook page, right, Jahzani Kush, and send I a friend request, or just send me a message and say, please share the calendar of events. And so we had the first topic, first night, and it was Haile Selassie as the perfect example of manhood. So what does that really mean? Because here as Rastafari sistren, there are those of us who are single, right? And so we're really thinking about what it is that we're looking for, right? And Kingman, and also using Haile Selassie I as a litmus test, right? Looking at his life, reading his autobiography, reading the selected speeches. And how at one point, there was a trend, what would Jesus do? Everybody was wearing these bracelets, what would Haile do? Really and truly, and so as Rastafari women, we're looking very much at Haile Selassie, and we're using him as the measuring stick for the brethren who will become our kingmen. And so that was a good session. And so they're all of them, some of the sessions, I don't have the literature in front of me, but I can tell you some of them are dealing with Rastafarian courtship. Some of them are talking about having multiple streams of income. Others are talking about what does it mean to Yah this journey as a single Rastafari woman. So there are a lot of topics. And so I just encourage, and I'm going to tell you, even though I set up that demographic, 18 to 35, I've had a lot of sisters contact me and said, Jahzani, I am coming on. I've aged out, but I really love the topics and I want to be a part of it. And the jazz match, I have extended it to brethren.
What?
Because you know what? I want the item to just, to be observers now, but I
clear.
Yeah.
Make that clear, because brethren will come and take over the thing and try to talk over.
That's right. So I'm saying just come and just sata. You understand?
Yes.
Let the daughters of Zion, engage. And the item, just listen. I mean, we've listened to the item since 1930.
On the other side of that, the sister them are saying if they dress in the long skirt and the head wrap, the brethren them don't pay them no mind. So
that's a lie.
Okay.
That's a lie. That's a lie, the jazz match.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. She's like the flowers in my garden, and her heart has never hardened, and she give me loving in the morning. Babylon, you are go far without no warning. Black woman, I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could have be my children's mother, but no struggle, so we both could help each other. And then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could have be my children's mother, but no struggle, so we both could help each other. Started in the village, now we in the city. Journey where we have together, everybody see. Spent a little time out in captivity. Babylon, their plan was to destroy the family. Still I want you to bring a child for me. Maybe in the spring when birds are sing lovely, maybe we could plan to have a summer baby. I can be the man that you depend on. Put the pen to the paper, made a love song. Babylon, they separated us for so long.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Eli! Hear them high, hear the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time, them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion where come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them in a Toronto, straight at
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk. Welcome to the Lion Talk Show, and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Today we have a very special guest who is no stranger to the Lion Voice Network. We are going into the blue fire energy, and we have some announcements that we want to share with the family, some opportunity for our Ras Tafari sistren to participate, and just information. I always say, when you see a guest on this platform, you're not going to see them one time. This is a Rastafari Pan-African family platform. And so we are centralizing, we are creating that oneness, and within that is information and education. And we are doing that with this episode. So we are going to bring forward the founding member of the Blue Fire Order. We'll just give people a quick fullness. If you didn't see that episode, I encourage ones to go forward and watch our episode on the Blue Fire Energy and Empress Menen panel. So many. And I'm going to introduce the guest shortly. But before I introduce the guest, let me just big up the Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. And we are now 25,000 plus on the Lion Pride. And we are the fastest growing Rastafari platform on the planet. And it's because of the item, the Lion Pride. I can't take credit. I'm just the curator of the movement. Obviously, the item are hungry for unapologetic Rastafari Pan-African content, and we're just here answering the call. His Imperial Majesty rise up within us to offer this platform. So big up the Lion Pride. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. This is the economic engine. We are currently in our 100 Lion Pride Strong campaign. We're looking for 100 people to join us in the Lion Pride at the $10 and over tier. We are offering creative consultations at no additional charge for the first 100. We are helping people to build out their creative ecosystem. So that's 14 half-hour consultations that we're offering to the first 100 people in the Lion Pride. We already have seen results. We are booking the consultations as we speak. Big up all of the Patreon members who have taken up the offer and are seeing the returns. And I tell everyone, whatever your purpose is, whatever your passion is, start today. It's not going to be perfect, but start today. This is the Armageddon. This is not a drill. It's not a test run. Make it happen. And everyone should have their own YouTube channel. Second largest search engine on the planet. And everyone should be cultivating their own audience, their own tribe, their own people. There's no one that can do your lane better than you can do your lane. So I'm encouraging all of the family, get active right now. It's time, you know what I mean? Big up the Ubuntu Lion Pride. Everyone joining at the $70 and up one-time contribution. We have families, businesses, whatever you want to do, just to show the support. No mouth talk around here. We're building Rastafari independent, non-aligned media. So big up all of our Ubuntu Lion Pride. Big up the Action Lion Pride. You don't have $1 or you don't want to give the Rasta money, that's fine. Like, comment, and share. You become part of that Action Lion Pride. We've had Lion Pride in New Zealand, Lion Pride in Reunion Islands, Lion Pride from Uganda. We're getting them from all over Earth right now. And I love, so when you comment, let us know where you're commenting from. We want to know where the Lion Pride is reaching. We love it. We love it. Also, make sure we big up the Lion Pride, who is the Watch and Peep Lion Pride. You know, those who watch, we are nearing 40,000 every month that are watching the platform. And I big up all of the item, and I encourage you to become part of the Lion Pride. Big up all of the peepers, those people who just come to peep and see if we pop down yet, or to check if the chess match made a mistake. I love the item same way because the item keep I and I sharp, and we love the item same way. So big up a watch and peep Lion Pride. Big up Rasledge. If you see I sipping, I'm sipping from a Rastafari business. We have to walk the walk, talk the talk. Big up Ramia King Design. First person to send me a picture with their Ramia King Design tumbler in the North America gets a free copy of Haile Selassie's Ethiopia. I want to see the item support our sponsors. Big up Wally Kings, CMOS Life, the greatest CMOS drink on the planet, and also Wally King's Graphic and Design. You see our Lion Voice Network logo. That is our brethren, greatest Rastafari graphic design artist. I have to big him up. Brother Carl's son, if you haven't seen the Brother Carl episode, you can check it out. But this is a family platform. So big up everyone who's making this uprising possible. All right, housekeeping out of the way. It is a great pleasure and a joy to introduce I and I next guest, academically astute, royal Empress who has trailblazed her own path. If you have not seen her episode, I'm going to link it down in the description. She has been trotting since she was a teenager. She was born in this United States, not the Caribbean. She embraced Kadamawi Haile Selassie as a teenager and has been a pioneer in so many aspects. One of the pillars down in the South Florida Rastafari community. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Rasess Jahzani Kush. Doctor, let me put that in there just for the people who think that Rastafari just are artists who run out on a stage or chalice smokers. We are doctors on all academic distinctions. So, welcome once again to the Lion Voice Network, and it's a great honor to host you once again, Dr. Rasess Jahzani Kush.
Greetings, the Jazz Match Kwasi. It's good to be here again, Rastafari.
Haile Selassie the first. Yes, so now we don't have to go to the heretical time machine. We already went there. We know the history. We're gonna link the description. We come here on business. You know, you see Rasess here. She's here on business. Please, before we get to that though, just give an overview on what is Blue Fire. And just I worked for people who are new because the last time you were here, we didn't have 25,000 in the Lion Pride. You know what I mean? Last time we were smaller, so now we have a lot more new family who may not have seen the first out of you. So just catch them up in terms of the groundbreaking works with the Blue Fire energy.
Yes, Blue Fire Energy is a representation of the divine feminine within Rastafari, where you have the Rastafari man who blazes fire, and his fire is a red fire, which is it's a hot fire. It's a fire that can be destructive when necessary. The blue fire in juxtaposition, it is the hottest of all fires. And it is the Genesis spark. I like to say it's the first color that you see when a flame is lit. And it is the most oxygen rich fire. Now, it's a fire that is used to help cut and clear the way. So, whenever you're building things, say, for example, you're planting, right? Sometimes you have to purge and purify the land. And so, blue fire is that type of energy. Now, blue fire was given to I within an iritical meditation that I was having when I was lamenting why it is that certain Rastafari women receive the fight that they do when they take frontline roles. And as I was having that meditation within my heavens, I received the answer, and the answer was it's because her fire is blue. And so that began my search into exactly what is blue fire from a scientific level, what is it from an iritical level, and then how the two can merge, that red fire and that blue fire, resulting in what I refer to as the violet flame, which is the combination of both the masculine and feminine energy within Rastafari.
Yes, yes. And I want to, before we seal up the reasoning, to talk about your book as an author, The Love Story, because you've actually written about the connection of those two flames in a very creative way. But before we get to that, there is a major event that is coming up potentially. So I want the eye to just explain the opportunity to the Rastafari family that the eye present.
The event that's coming up is the 6th annual Empress Menen Asfaw Blue Fire Leadership I Treat. And the Leadership I Treat is an opportunity for Rastafari women to come together to participate in Jerusalem schoolroom, to be exposed to groundbreaking ideologies and philosophies. The whole point of the Leadership I Treat is to prepare Rastafari women for their position, right, on center stage within the Rastafari movement. My academic training is in leadership. I have a PhD in leadership, and Haile Selassie speaks very often about the significant roles that leaders play in our communities. And so I think it's essential that women, and we know that there's a changing tide, you understand, and it's worldwide. And so it is my duty to make certain that my sisters, as well as myself, that we're prepared for this changing tide. So sisters they have the opportunity to meet with other sisters who have been in leadership, whether it is in business, whether it is in the academy, a variety of whether it is within their community, right? And so they also have the opportunity to learn from sisters who've already taken this role. I've also created a Empress Menen Asfaw Blue Fire leadership model to help sisters, examine leadership from a theoretical perspective, and then to take that theory and put it into practice. So the I Treat is an opportunity for that. So we're together for 3 days. It is a minimal cost, only $500, and you have 3 days of I Treat. The luxury treatment that we give to the sisters during that time. Organic I2 meals. We're taking care of our goodies. We're sharing, ISIS together, because this year we're very excited that the I Tree actually falls on the Empress's Earth light. So it's April 3rd through April 6th. And so for only $500, which if you know anything about retreats, what we call it an I treat, right? They can go up to thousands of dollars, right?
Easy.
And so we're very proud to have been offering this. Like I said, it's our 6th year. And so I invite all sistren to come, regardless if you know anyone who's attending, that never matters, because it's all one love from the moment, you set foot in that sacred space, because we purify it and make it just that. You are in, your sister's house. And so this year's theme, and I want to talk on that briefly, is, following. First, it is I am my mother's daughter, and then the subtitle is following in the footsteps of the Iritical Negus, because a lot of times we look at Empress Menen and we look at her as, being a patron of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and we view her as religious. And so I want the Rastafari woman to see her as iritical, because we know that there's a difference. And her iritical element was showcased or highlighted, right, when she went to Palestine, which was then Palestine or Jerusalem, and held the fort iritically in that monastery that she had the foresight to build prior to Italy's invasion. So we know while Haile Selassie held the physical fort by going out as the elder statesman, well, at that time he wasn't so elder, but going out and meeting with the world leaders and advocating, from that position, we know that she went to Palestine to hold the fort iritically. And that is what the Rastafari woman needs to cultivate. She needs to cultivate her iritical strength, because it is her birthright and it is her natural energy. So that's the theme this year. So it's going to be hot. First year's theme was the dawning of the Rastafari priestess and prophetess. Yes, we're that too, and so this year we're going again within that iritical trend.
Okay, give thanks. And we coin a term here called Ita luxury. And I know the item rent a very nice Airbnb and
Greetings and blessings, everyone. I have just arrived at the Airbnb for the 5th annual Empress Menen Asfaw Blue Fire Leadership Retreat. There's a game room, and really, I don't know how to play video games, really, but I think I do remember Pac-Man. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a joystick. All right. So, first of all honor and glory to the Queen of Queens, Negus of Negus, Empress Menen Asfaw. And I just want to show this necklace here. Very, very beautiful. That's going to be raffled off. Very, very beautiful blue stones. Yeah, very nice. Here is the kitchen. And of course, I have to hail our father, Kadamawi Haile Selassie I. Some teas for the citrons, stress relief, ginger, pomegranate, something to help with sleep, something to boost your immune system. Very good. I have some Ital Yud here. Very, very tasty food. And just some other stuff we've already unpacked. Don't mind the Easter basket thingy. I don't deal with that. That was here. All right. So we already started stocking the fridge. Just doing what we do, until I can shop at the grocery store. We haven't had an opportunity to do that yet. So just going to, citrons are arriving, putting their things up. This is one of the rooms. Really nice. As you can see, Empress Menen Asfaw Blue Fire prayer candles are on deck. And just want to just show the space, private bathroom, jacuzzi, shower space. Okay. So because it is Orlando, you can rest assured that there are going to be some Disney themed rooms. I'm telling you, it was really hard to find an Airbnb without it, but I figured, you know what? They're not as drastic as some of the spaces I've seen before. So, Lalibela Institute, you see the logo on the walls, or on the windows rather. Palo Santo burning to set the energy right. Nice picture of the royal family. And there's a pool outside. Let me stop moving fast because I'm losing focus. So we do have some mer women in the group who love to swim, and so this space is really for them. I'll probably just set her right there. All right, so I'm gonna go upstairs now so that one can see all of the space before one start to settle in. Okay, so I'm just doing a quick video of the space. Okay, so it's one of the spaces, as you can see, Nikki theme. And this is one of the single occupancies for some of the other ones who are coming forward. Okay, so in here it's another thing, mini, all right, bathroom, and in here is, turn on the light. Okay, so in here is another bathroom. Okay, so walking across, you can come on, sis. Walking across the hall, it's another bathroom. I'm sorry, another bedroom. But there also is another bathroom, what they call Jack and Jill connecting bathrooms in there. Okay, Star Wars. Okay, so this is the loft area where ones can just come, just hold a medi, catch a vibe. TV there. It's another single room, the king size bed. Okay, so this is the media room. And I'm really glad to have a media room because we have some dynamic presentations that are going to be given by the presenters.
I know a lot of sisters. I have to big up I Lion Pride and Patreon Mama Walete Dr. Walete, who is no stranger to this platform, is always there. And these sisters are some of the most powerful sisters that the item will meet. For those who don't know, these are frontline sisters who have been on the battlefield in various roles. You know what I mean? These are not sisters that are, behind closed doors. These are sisters that go out, speak on international platforms, who have run programs, who have, written books. You know what I mean? So for those sisters who are out there, because I know you have sisters who are in isolated places where there are not a lot of other Rastafari sisters, this is an excellent opportunity to build your network of sisters to, as she say, take a central place in the movement. And I love it because I love to see that the sister and them are coming together to make a difference. What I say to the brethren though is don't sit down and say it's time for the sister and them to go up front. I can't let the item go on the front line at the back of field and we kick up our foot them. So let this motivate the brethren, see how the sister and them are coming together, and let us really do the same. Talk to us about the cuisine, because I know it's not just regular Ita. You have some renowned chef. You know what I mean? I'm going to be looking to reason with the chef very shortly. I talked to our Kingman, but talk to us about the cuisine, because some people, their belly is very important to them and in terms of how they travel. So let them know that this is not regular Ita you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, shout out to Speedy Redemption out of Rock City, St. Thomas, Empress Karima, and Basili, her Kingman, Ambassador 7, some of the best chefs, most skillful chefs that I know. And so Empress Karima always blesses us. We get a chance to taste her hand, and very health conscious. If you see the sister and you see that even after having 7 youths, you understand, very stately, goody, still strong. And, she put a lot of these young daughters to shame.
Yes.
So give thanks, for speedy redemption. So everything, is thought about down to the smallest detail, because we know that a lot of our sisters may not have the opportunity, number one, to come together like that, right, in communion, but they also don't have a respite from family obligations sometimes. So here is an opportunity for ones to just free up, but also, feed the goody as well as their heavens, and we also have an order that I want to speak about really quickly.
Yeah, man.
So you have the Blue Fire I Treat, which is annual. And you also have the Blue Fire Order of Empress Menen Asfaw. And it is likened to a sorority, and it is the first of its kind for Ras Tafari sistren. And so the sistren who are a part of that particular organization are sistren who are leaders within their communities. There's an application process. There's also a 1-year course of study that sistrens have to go through. And in addition to that, there's a culminating project that a sistren must create to show how her work can impact her community. So so it's not tedious, but it is definitely thorough. And so I encourage, sistren who want to come to the I Treat, but then they want to take it further, because we have sisters who have come to all of the I Treats, every single I Treat they've been at, right? And then we might have sisters who come one time, but we always say once Blue Fire, always Blue Fire. Once you see we throw up that flame, that's who you are, and so we encourage it. But there are levels to it, is what I'm saying.
So, Jahzani, first set of finishes.
Yes.
Let's hear some noise. Congratulations,
Give thanks.
Empress, Queen, Goddess, all that you are. But you continue to do the work of the Most High.
I shall, as long as I am able. I am always willing, and I want to say I am so excited to introduce the first line of sistrens who have crossed over to now be members of the Blue Fire Order of Empress Menen Asfaw. Sistrens who exemplify all of the service work that Empress Menen is known for, all of the wise mind that she is known for, and all of the compassion. Also, the fire, the hot, hot fire that consuming fire that just purges all that is negative in order to rebuild again. So these are the sisters who are going to help rebuild I Liberty and to help strengthen it and usher I into the new race. They're also the priestesses and prophetesses of Ras Tafari. And so I'm excited to introduce them to the sisters who have attended the 5th annual Empress Menen Asfaw Blue Fire Leadership Retreat. I'm going to be introducing Dr. Rasess Beresford, Rasess Thea Brown, and Rasess Karima Reed. They've also all been given the title of Rasess today, which stands for Royal Ethiopian Sistren, exemplifying stately strength. So when I open the door and they come out in their procession, I would like for all ones to just hail them as Rasess. When you see them, hail Rasess, because that's a mighty title to take on. Yes? So I'm going to open the door as soon as our sisters come in to support and have a seat. And they will be coming in to Von Benjamin's Lioness, because that's exactly who they are. Yes?
Yes,
You know?
Definitely. And then also talk, did I mention about the goodies? There are exercise component. Is it just eating, or do the item do yoga? Is there any movement? Because one of the things I want to focus on this year on this platform is exercise, because I'm seeing a lot of unhealthy Rastafari in the Liberty, and I know a lot of it is stress, what I
Yes.
mean, but a lot of it is bad eating and just working, staying up late, eating late, all of these. Do the item talk about the health aspect in terms of exercise, movement, or
Oh,
is that incorporated?
definitely. There is a yoga. Well, first of all, there is a portion of it that I'm really excited about called MEDI. And MEDI
Okay.
is an acronym. MEDI stands for, the M stands for Menen, the E stands for enlightenment, the D stands for dawning, and the I stands for Iowa. So there's a MEDI component. And so sometimes I lead the yoga. First year we actually had a yoga instructor, Sister Deja, who will also be there this year. So it really is mind, body, and soul. All of that is taken into account at the retreat. So it's a wonderful time that's had, and there's because I always do a barometer check while I'm there, because I am I'm the mama on set, but even afterwards, I have sisters reasoning and calling I up and saying, wow, I'm still holding that energy. Like that space was so sacred that it has now, morphed who I am.
And I want that to clarify, because some of the new Lion Pride are going to think they is in your 20s. Just let them know how many children that you have.
Oh, come on, the Jazz Match.
Because I want them to understand when you say mama, some people say that's not no mama. That's a young sister. Why is she trying to push up her chest as a mama? Please just let the people know that I have adult children. You know what I mean?
I do. I have 7 children. Ranging, oh, big people, okay? and my youngest, Taharka, is 11. So I have, and then, as an educator, I have taught thousands of youths,
Yes.
so, and those are my youth same way.
So I just want to clarify, because the age does not show on the face. I don't want people.
Good thing.
We are teasing them. You know what I mean? All right. So the I treat. Let the people know how they can tap in, and how they can register for the I treat.
Okay, so the due date for the deposit, and I don't know exactly when this is going to air, so I am
I'm gonna try to
going.
get this out very quickly. So
Okay,
yeah,
but even if a one needs to reach out, before that due date, reach out and talk to I and let I know, because I'm always willing to work with ones, right? As
yes.
far as much as I can, as far as the timeline is concerned. So my website is lalibelainstitute.org and lalibelainstitute.com. So that's the website where you can see, all of the work that's happening at Lalibela Institute, which is the parent organization, and the iTreat is the major fundraiser for Lalibela Institute. Okay, so ones could, if you're interested, send me an email, and I don't know if you could put it somewhere, but my email is lalibela.org@gmail.com. So lalibela.org@gmail.com. And that's actually where you can send payment. You can send payment via Zelle to lalibela.org@gmail.com. And the deposit for the iTreat is $150. It is a non-refundable deposit because, just as the I said, I have to secure, what we will consider the sanctuary for those 3 days, and start purchasing all of the other things that are a part of the iTreat experience. So one should do that. And we'll be having calls before the actual iTreat, because some of the sistrins don't know each other. And so we try to create that fellowship before we're actually together for 3 days. And then if there are any questions that ones have. But all I can say, the jazz match, about the iTreat is that if I always put myself in the shoes of the sistrins who I serve, and
Hmm.
I would love, absolutely love something like this.
Hmm.
So I don't know how much longer the iTreats are going to happen, so I'm going to put that out there. But you never know, because there might not be one next year. I might be on to some other works. So I am encouraging ones to make sure they attend this iTreat.
And it's depending on the demand as well. So make sure, sister, that the item, you want things like this to happen. I keep saying on this platform, no one is coming to save us. You know what I mean? That's why I'm so passionate about supporting all of these works. And that's one of the reasons we started the Lion Voice Network, so that we would have a platform for these types of works could get highlighted outside of our individual silos, because we all have silos of people that we interact with, but there's a global Rastafari family out there, and a lot of them are cut off from the mainline workers, and the names and the personalities that we all know. Yes, there's them, but there are sisters that find his majesty in a vision in Missouri, what I mean, and she's by herself,
Yeah.
and she's listening to some music, and it hit her, and then she has nowhere else to go, you know what I mean, or she just with a brethren, and the brethren is giving her a sound, but she wants to also get some more strengthening. So this is a very important for those aspects. And I have bad news for some of the family brethren: you cannot apply. They don't want to see the item there. I'm sorry, because some brethren say, "What? Your sister and I, yeah," and them want running. This is not for the item, brethren. Okay, there has to be a brother that start his own, fire retreat or whatever.
That's
But before
right. That's
retreat,
right.
this is for the sistren. So please do not send in the application form. But
No, but
brethren,
you know what they
yes,
can do,
I
though?
was gonna say they can support, but talk,
That's
say it.
right.
Yes.
That's right. Because every year, there are brethren who sponsor, a sister, because we offer scholarships. First year, we offered 2 scholarships, to sistrins who could have used the strength. And so you can definitely support. Some brethren actually, pay for an entire, amount, $500. Other brethren might send $100, so whatever it is, if you think that this work is important, if you have a Rastafari queen that you know, you want to support, you know, or you want to send, you want to recommend, you know, or if you just know that, you know, it's time for the lionesses to be able to take that center stage when necessary, then go ahead and support, you know, because, you know, Lalibela Institute is a nonprofit. It's a 501c3. So, you know, if you're looking for a tax write-off, go ahead and you know, and support, and you know, you can be given some type of refund, you know.
And I would tell the brethren, if you're a young brethren, you have a sister in a nice flex, is just sponsor her ticket to the eye treat and get her strengthened, because there's certain things as a brethren it's not, you're not going to be able to really impart. And a lot of the young sisters who are searching for their place, they need to hear from the older sisters. And I can vouch for these sisters. They're not feminists. They're not going to inculcate your sisters with, you know, anti-man type of rhetoric. They are family oriented. So definitely it's a good vibration for sister to get strengthened within the trad, you know, within the movement of the trad. So we really give thanks. Before the eye seal, we want to know more about Lalibela Institute, and I understand that there's a whole calendar of fullness that is coming forward, and we're gonna ask that they return to talk more about this calendar as it evolves and to share footage and to share things with us over the year. But just give us an overview of Lalibela Institute, what the works are, what the vision is, and what's in store for this year.
Lalibela Institute is a nonprofit. It's an educational nonprofit. And so I am a college professor. My area of expertise is culturally responsive pedagogy and culturally responsive leadership, right? And so I decided that I would take some of that training that I had learned in the academy, as well as some of the experience that I've had as an educator for over 28 years, and bring it home. And so I decided that I would work with youths, you know, from middle school through college. And so that's basically what I do. I have a calendar of courses that ones can go on to the website and look at, and you can take courses. The fee is very, you know, affordable, and so they range in rigor. Now, even though it was set out or established to be an educational institution for youths, it has morphed more so into an educational institution for Rastafari women. And that's fine, because women are the first teachers. We all know that. And so if that's the route, you know, that the universe and the universe wanted the institute to take, then I'm fine with that. However, we also now have a physical space, the Jazz Match, where the I actually came and did your book talk,
Yes.
and everyone thoroughly enjoyed that. But initially, we started out as an online programming source. And now we actually have a physical space, and it is also open to the community to utilize. You know, I hold workshops there. We do yoga, we do meditation. And so, if an individual who is in the community would like to utilize the space to host an event, we're also open for that as well. But Lalibela Institute definitely is it's the place where the Blue Fire School of Thought is actualized, because Blue Fire has gone from, you know, Cistrans, you know, just utilizing the sound to now being a world lens. You know, how we view through we view the world through the Blue Fire lens.
All right, give thanks. So make sure you go to the website. All the things that she said are there. What are some of the events planned for this year? As you said, I was honored to hold a reasoning around Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, where we sold out of books at the time. You know what I mean? So well attended, well received. I was also able to perform there, like an artist, intimate vibration. It was such a joy. But um, share with us some of the events planned for this year.
Okay, so some of the annual events that we have at the Institute, we host events for all of the major high holidays within Rastafari, and so most of the events are lectures. There'll be a lecture surrounding, Haile Selassie's Earthlight, his ascension to the throne as emperor. And one of the signature events of Lalibela Institute is the marriage supper event, which
Okay.
is the celebration of or the marriage of Haile Selassie and Empress Menen, July 31st, 1911. And so I have been agitating, right, that this day be added to the Rastafari calendar. And so we celebrate the Empress's Earthlight, the Emperor's Earthlight. However, what about when that force, right, of the Jah and Jahess became one, right? And so I think that that day should be celebrated. And so I have been celebrating it really for the past 15 years because even as the director of education and founder of the Haile Selassie First Learning Center, which is the first Rastafari organization that I founded, I began celebrating that union of Haile Selassie and Empress Menen there as well. So we're very excited to always do that. And so that celebration will look something like a banquet or an intimate dinner where Rastafari brethren will come with their wives and share. And we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but this is our version of Black Love Day, July 31st,
I love it.
1911.
And we've started commemorating it here on the Lion Voice Network. We did a special episode with Yasantua to talk about the union and those things, that we're going to continue as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to at some point come and capture that event for the network so that ones can see. I am a big advocate, as the item know, for family, the Rastafari family, because we cannot build a nation if our families are fractured. And one of the main causes of trauma or intergenerational trauma that we carry from the slavery time is this fractured family structure, which lead to fight or flight. So anytime we try to come together, either we fighting or people take away themselves, and we're not able to build stability. So with strong families, we will be able to work together. We'll build wealth. There's no community on this planet that doesn't emphasize families that is successful. You know what I mean? And His Majesty himself awarded families that were married over 25 years different, honors, and he himself was an example. And both he and Empress Menen had children before their union, but they made it work. And so within Rastafari, it's our prayer that we create a culture of family. And to seal up, I want to talk about your book, because I really wrote okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the calendar of events. I,
Yeah.
I, I didn't talk about that, so I'm really
Okay,
excited
no,
about that.
take your time, go forward. Yeah, man.
Okay, good. So the calendar of events is there are 12 Zooms, one every month, and I'm looking to attract, right, a certain demographic. Rastafari Sistren ages 18 to 35.
Okay.
Why? Because when I look behind I don't see anybody. Not like
Talk
it
about it.
used to be.
Talk about it.
And so as I look forward, I'm looking to pass the baton. I'm not the sage on the stage. And so I do need to connect with that younger generation of Rastafari women because simply I can't be arrogant and assume that their ideologies are my ideologies. or that their philosophies are my philosophies,
It's not.
right?
It's
So,
not. I can tell you. I interview some of them. It's not. They're changing. So
okay,
you
good. And so I think it is the role, right, of some of I and I who consider ourselves as leaders, right, in our communities, who consider ourselves as jegnas, because I'm a jegna, right? And so how do I and I ensure that this liberty that we love, that we have sacrificed so much for, right, that it continues and that it endures, and not that it just endures in a superficial or mediocre way, but that it endures in a triumphant way, right? And so the only way that can be done is to make that bridge, is to connect, make that bridge between us and that other generation. And so I have designed topics or created topics that I put myself again in the position of the 18-year-old Jahzani. And what would I like, what would I have wanted to know, right? What type of camaraderie would I like to have had with other sistren? Because there were very few Rastafari sistren in my community at that time who were older, who were even willing, right, to engage younger Rastafari sistren on a deep level. And so I will not continue that trend. And so every month, sistren can log on, and if they're interested, they can go to my Facebook page, right, Jahzani Kush, and send I a friend request, or just send me a message and say, please share the calendar of events. And so we had the first topic, first night, and it was Haile Selassie as the perfect example of manhood. So what does that really mean? Because here as Rastafari sistren, there are those of us who are single, right? And so we're really thinking about what it is that we're looking for, right? In Kingman, and also using Haile Selassie the first as a litmus test, right? Looking at his life, reading his autobiography, reading the selected speeches. And how at one point, there was a trend, what would Jesus do? Everybody was wearing these bracelets,
Yeah,
well, what
yeah.
would Haile do? Really and truly, and so as Rastafari women, we're looking very much at Haile Selassie, and we're using him as the measuring stick for the brethren who will become our kingmen. And so that was a good session. And so they're all of them, some of the sessions, I don't have the literature in front of me, but I can tell you some of them are dealing with Rastafarian courtship. Some of them are talking about having multiple streams of income. Others are talking about what does it mean to Yah, this journey as a single Rastafari woman. So there are a lot of topics. And so I just encourage, and I'm going to tell you, even though I set up that demographic, 18 to 35, I've had a lot of sisters contact me and said, Jahzani, I am coming on. I've aged out, but I really love the topics, and I want to be a part of it. And the jazz match, I have extended it to brethren.
What?
Because you know what? I want the item to just, to be observers now, but
Make
I
that
don't,
clear. Make
yeah.
that clear because brethren will come and take over the thing and try to talk over
That's
it.
right. So I'm saying just come and just sata. You understand?
Yes.
Let the daughters of Zion, engage. And the item, just listen. I mean, we've listened to the item since 1930. Oh, goodness. So, yes, it's the lioness's time.
Yes, yes. I love it. So I'll try to make the next one
Good.
because I'm very curious. But I didn't want to just be there, or even ask to be there because I know it's so important, the bonding. So now we have an invitation.
Of
We
course.
can listen in and also learn. And I'm trying to prepare on the other side, the brethren. I just released an episode today. This episode will come out Friday. I just released an episode today about discipline, for the brethren. and that this is part of the Rastafari chart, so that we can start to correct some of the historical things that have plagued our community. And, so we're preparing on our side, we're preparing the brethren to be kingmans, to model Haile Selassie,
Yes.
because we can't be eye-peering the daughters and then the brethren them who I say must lead the family. We might disagree on that whole leadership model, but I say that the brethren have to be the head, because we can't have, every nation, when you look on the battlefield, they send out the best of their brethren to fight on the battlefield, and we can't, as brethren, have our sister out there fighting and say, yes, the sister, them on the front line, and, it doesn't look away, brethren. So we have to rise up to be right there. If they want to be beside us, we give thanks, but I must be there. So I really give thanks for the I works and the I making this push. And I interview a lot of sisters, and I always ask them, the dress code has been changing. We're seeing the pants come in, we're seeing the tattoos come in, we're seeing like a crop top here and there, and the sisters them have their own concept, but most of them are not reasoning with the elder sister either. You know what I mean? So I think finding that happy balance,
Right.
you know what I mean, is so crucial, because Empress Menen is the model for the sister. And even though we support the young sister in them, I think we don't want to follow what's culturally relevant too much, and then we lose the essence. It becomes watered down, and we can't distinguish. On the other side of that, the sister them are saying, if they dress in the long skirt and the head wrap, the brethren them don't pay them no mind. So
Oh, that's a lie.
okay.
That's a lie. That's a lie to just match. And you know what? I teach I shouldn't say that, because maybe that's not happening on this end.
Okay. Yes.
It's not happening on Sister Waletti's end. All of my sisters, Empress Karima, we always get royal salutes. But I think that I definitely want to mention the book a little bit.
Yes.
But I was going to say
that was my long segue. I'm long-winded. I have a long-winded segue, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. So the book is entitled Between the Fire and Ice. And when I write, and this is my first fiction book. So when I write, I have these downloads, really organic, iridical experience it is. And so I was thinking about how relationships have changed within Ras Tafari. And I was also thinking about His Majesty's command that we become members of a new race, right? And how gender also was going to be viewed differently, gender norms and prescriptions, right? Not like how Babylon is dealing with them. I don't mean that way, but I mean as far as who leads in certain cases, who guides, and so I created these two characters. Adeola is the protagonist, and Adeola is a Nigerian name, which means crown has honor. So she's very regal, she knows herself. And then the male character, his name is Michael Selassie. And so Michael Selassie is a renowned painter. And, the two of them meet, and essentially the entire book surrounds their evolution, and what it means to, to hold true and to hold fast, right, to your liberty. And at the same time, what does it mean to morph? Because morphing is natural and growth is essential, right? And so you watch these two characters just shift and change, but at the same time, there is this undercurrent, this beautiful love story that's happening at the same time. There's also twin flame energy that's a part of it. There's some past lifetime energy. So I tried to cover so many bases of what I thought a beautiful Rastafari love story would include. And so between the fire and ice is definitely because it's interesting. We do, and guess what? The earth right now is fire and ice,
Yes,
right? We see
yes,
that
yes,
happening, right? And
yes.
so, but right in between the middle, what does that look like when that blue fire and that red fire come together, right? What happens then? And so it's a very it's a powerful love story. I don't know if I'll write another fiction piece, but it was just something that was in I that had to come out. So yeah, it's my third book,
Give
and I'm
thanks.
working on my fourth book.
Okay, give thanks. So let the people know how they can purchase the book. Lion Pride, you know my philosophy. We have to spend the Rastafari dollar, the Pan African dollar amongst ourselves. I want 1,000 people watching this video go and purchase this book. My vision is that each guest come on, 1,000 people. We're at 25,000 plus now. We can get 1,000 people to put $10, $20, $30 toward whatever the guest service or their product, and start to really have that impact, because as I say, no one is coming to save us but ourselves, so if we don't support, it's not going to happen. And I'm hoping that this book one day could be adapted into a screenplay and become a feature film, because these are the things I want to do with the Lion Voice Network, is produce Rastafari content. And this is what I'm talking about, is not just historical content, but think about how much fiction and different stories that we can also tell to create our own creative ecosystem that our young people can grow up aspiring to be like a Michael Selassie, or what was the other name, or the sister?
Adeola.
Adeola. You know what I mean? These can become renowned characters within the Rastafari family globally. So this is kind of the concept. So again, Lion Pride, please go forward and support this project. Let them know again one more time how they can spend the money. And I'm going to follow up with Rasess, Jahzani Kush to find out if anyone followed through, because this is very important to I, that we're not just watching and feeling good and we kick up our foot them, and we think somebody else is going to do for us what we have been called to do for ourselves. So please let them know one more time how they can purchase the book, and your other books, just quickly let them know your non-fiction books as well, how they can support and put some money in her pocket, please.
And and remember, putting money in my pocket puts money in a community organization, which is
Yes.
Lalibela Institute, right? So you can go to lalibelainstitute.org or lalibelainstitute.com, and I have a list of the books. You have the prices of the books, and I ship all over the world, actually. And so all three of the books are listed there. My fourth book will be out by the end of the year. I think it's going to be a very important book, not only for Rastafari women, but for Rastafari brethren as well. So the first book is Roaring Lionesses, Rastafari Woman, Journeys of Self-Liberation. The second book is Blue Fire, The Ascension of the Jah-S in Rastafari. And then the third book is Between the Fire and Ice. So any support, that ones want to give to this work will be greatly appreciated.
Again, Lion Pride, don't fail. I don't embarrass I, and one or two people purchase the book. We want 1,000 people to purchase this book from the Lion Pride. We want this to shake the earth, you know what I mean? This uprising, Rastafari independent non-aligned media, is about us loving ourselves, telling our own stories, supporting ourselves, and we want to see some millionaires come out of this platform, because why? We are so in need right now of institutions. And like I say, if we put money in Rasess, Jahzani, someone who has created institutions, it's only going to benefit the community. You know what I mean? The same with Dr. Waleti, the same with all of the other sistren. And we are going to, once again, this March, it's going to be all Rastafari sistren all month, leading up to our Empress Menen panel, and I want to invite them in advance to join us once again for our Empress Menen panel. We'll have to coordinate with the eye treat so it doesn't clash. But we want to again invite the eye, because this is going to be a tradition on this channel for Women's History Month. We're doing all Rastafari Sister all month. All of the content in March will be Rastafari Sister, with the exception we have exclusive Haile Garima interview that we're going to publish on March 1st for the Battle of Ottawa about his new film, which is about the Italian invasion. So stay tuned for that. But everything else in March is going to be livicated to our Rastafari Sister. We have some powerful voices lined up that you will be hearing from our Rastafari Sister. And again, we have nothing but support and love for our sistren. United we stand, divided we fall. So please just give us any final sounds, any final things that I want to share with the Global Lion Pride family.
Well, I like to say to all of my sistren worldwide, to continue to strengthen your communities, continue to forge bonds that will, strengthen the nation, because it starts out in the nuclei, the family, then it's your communities, and then it goes larger, right? And so I just continue my sister to, I pray thee, I just ask my sister to continue to, give Isis to their divine majesties, and continue to be a vessel so that they can work through the eyes, because there's a lot of work to do. I talked about reaching forward to the sisters who are behind I, and those sisters who are ahead of I also need to reach forward to this generation. So it's about creating that strong bond so that we can be able to do what Empress Menen asked us to do. And she said that, you can command and demand the universe to work on your behalf, But Isis, can shake the earth and can turn tides. And so that's what the Rastafari woman is here to do. We're strong, we're courageous, and we're holding the fort, Rastafari.
Haile Selassie the first. So the first time I interviewed here on the platform, our female audience was at 5%. We're now at 25%.
Wow.
Female audience. So we're growing, and we're making efforts. We have the most female word sound on the planet. There are no platforms that have more sistren voices than the Lion Voice Network. We have a playlist that the item can go on the channel and just watch reasoning after reasoning with Rastafari sistren from all walks of life, all, from chemical engineers to homemakers, and everything in between. So we are, go ahead.
I also want to say too, really quickly to Jazz Match, that if one's, I would love for ones to come to the eye treat, right? However, I also travel and I go and I do lectures and book talks, all over, throughout the Caribbean,
Yes.
within the United States, I'm all over, open to traveling to Africa. So if there are some communities out there where sisters would like to invite I to come and to do book talks or to just reason about Blue Fire, then I'm available for that as well.
Definitely. And they can book you through the Lalibela Institute.
That's correct.
Website. So make sure you bookmark the Lalibela Institute website, Sistren, brethren as well, for these occasions, and make sure you pay properly and make sure you have everything in gear. Don't call with no foolishness and waste Rasess Jahzani time, please, because we have to hold ourselves to a high standard. So you make sure accommodations per diem, all them things there set, you know what I mean, so that the eye can be royally hosted in these spaces. But yeah, man, we give thanks for the eye once again coming forward. This is not the first or the second or even the third time you've seen Jahzani on this platform, and it won't be the last. We're gonna ask her to come forward and keep us updated. You would have seen during this episode, we're gonna have B-roll playing, so you'll see some of the images from the eye treat, from the last eye treat, and we're gonna ask her to share once again from this eye treat to record and to share. And if you will have any problems, again, go to the Lalibela Institute. Any questions, concerns, go to the Lalibela Institute. She's very responsive, very accessible, very humble sister. And so I really give thanks once again for the eye works. And, just know that this is the eye home as well. We are here for the eye, so anytime the eye need a platform to reach the global family, the eye already know the eye is welcome, you know what I mean?
Give thanks. It was a pleasure, the Jahzani Kwasi. Give thanks.
Always. So there you have it, family. Rasess Dr. Jahzani Kush, one of the pillars of the South Florida Ras Tafari immunity, known globally for the great work that she's doing. The eye treat is coinciding with Empress Menen Earthlight. The deposit is due shortly, so reserve your space. Don't miss this groundbreaking eye treat, this immunity. This is part of the greater uprising that we're facing, and particularly for our young sisters around the world. If you're in America, the Caribbean, and you can afford, and even if you can't afford, reach out and see if there are any scholarship opportunities. Just make the link, you know what I mean? That's a start, because you never know what can happen. But if this is something that has sparked the eye as a young sister, know that there are elder sisters that are thinking about the item, that want to welcome the item to make a comfortable space. Remember to log into the Zoom recordings, and I'll, if I can share the schedule with I can publish it on our community tab as well.
Yes,
so that the item can have that as a resource, and we'll continue to build with the blue fire energy. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story, and this is the Lion's Voice.
Lion Voice. She's like the flowers in my garden, and her heart has never hardened, and she give me loving in the morning. Babylon, you are go far without no warning. Black woman, I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so we both could help each other, and then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so we both could help each other. Started in the village, now we in the city. Journey where we have together, everybody see. Spent a little time out in captivity. Babylon, their plan was to destroy the family. Still I want you to bring a child for me. Maybe in the spring when birds are sing lovely, maybe we could plan to have a summer baby. I can be the man that you depend on. Put the pen to the paper, made a love song. Babylon, they separated us for so long, and the reason that they hated us was so wrong. Still the most High, He created us, we so strong. Then Same Kush I time the Dogan. Love your melanin, no follow fi them program. Black woman me nah go pass and you fi no one. No one, that's my slogan. Black woman I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone I could be my children's mother. But no struggle so people could help each other. Then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone I could be my children's mother. But no struggle so people could help each other. She's like the oxygen in my flame. Loving where we have nobody can contain. Love so powerful, survive shackle and chain. Love it cross the ocean way before planes. Love survive them torture, rape and dear pain. When one escape then the other get blame. That's why I never put no one above you. That's why I'm not ashamed to say I love you. That's why them dirty Babylon they judge you. Feel the power when I kiss and when I hug you. Hold you for hours when I think about how they grudge you. I'm a lion so I never gonna bug